Hey, what's up guys, little man with a big opinion here. Today's prepping video, which now that I think about what I should have put in my videos, maybe I should have done this at my house to have visual representation. So if that's something that you would like for today's video, then I guess I can do an update video. But I'm going to talk about storing your preps at home, kind of what I do to get the most out of my preps, and, storage, what I store my preps in, how I go about storing my preps, and just, it's partially to keep your stuff from going bad. There's partially like an organizational system to it. And so, some stuff is color coded, some stuff, we'll get into it in today's video. But before I go any further, I would like to say that we're doing great on watch hours. I guess I could say my audience is very great in keeping up with the videos. Every time something new comes out, the ones of you that do watch, you watch my videos pretty regularly. It's like 28% of the people that watch my videos are subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you did. And for those of you that are subscribed, or those of you that watch my videos, share this with a friend or family member that you think would benefit from the discussions I have on my channel. And with that, let's just go ahead and hop right into it. If you haven't watched any of my videos in the past, then you'll know that I am definitely a budget prepper. A lot of my prepping went in while I was in college, so you can imagine the financial situation of a college student. Someone recently out of college, I work a lot because I want to, pay off my debts and get to a point where I can start building my own wealth. And part of building that wealth is prepping as well. I don't think you should just have a, cash safety net when things go bad, because if the food and water and other prepping supplies we talk about aren't available for you to use your cash safety net, then it's like that safety net doesn't exist. It's a different way to store your wealth. And it is a hedge against inflation, because the Mountain House meals that I purchase, they're the same calories. They roughly have a 25-year shelf life to indefinite. And it's mostly based off of the research and, our government saying they can't just guarantee it'll last forever without the appropriate test. But it's a great way, I call it my staying alive insurance. But what do I do with that stuff? How do I protect it and ensure the investment that I'm making now can benefit me a year from now, 20 years from now? Some of the prep items that I put away, they have found honey and rice and beans in ancient civilizations within, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Egyptians, Roman empires. All of these different, civilizations knew the idea of storing away food. Because, back then it was a lot more common to have a bad crop year. And so right now the United States About 15% of the food that we consume comes from imports. We can produce all the food we need, just certain food items grow better in other areas, and certain food items are cheaper to purchase from another country than us use some of our farmland. Whereas our most exported crop is corn, because we have one of the best places in the world to grow corn. So I brought up corn, brought up honey, brought up rice and beans. Only thing I didn't bring up so far is oats. Those are some of the most staple foods that I've put away. Other foods that I've added to that is sugar, salt, different spices, and then, freeze-dried foods. There's a list of a few other things that have extended shelf lives, but I haven't really put it away in mass. Like most of your hard liquors have an indefinite shelf life, but I haven't spent enough money to put that stuff away in mass. Different oils work really well as well. And it's just something that, as I increase my financial capabilities, I'll start adding different things. But my biggest push was, having the caloric intake and a little bit of diversity to survive over a year. I pushed it up to about 15 and a half, 16 months. And then that's when I switched over to freeze-dried stuff. So if you didn't know, freeze-dried food already comes in one of the greatest packagings we can have, and that is a Mylar bag. It also has an oxygen absorber in it. Some of them do anyway. And the freeze drying removes like 95 to 99% of the moisture content in that food, which virtually eliminates, the possibility of growth of bacteria. It's not 100% guarantee. Some batches can be bad. It's just one of those things of I like buying them in the smaller containers just in case, individual, results may vary. So if you're not buying freeze-dried food, but you're buying these staple foods, putting them inside of Mylar bags is one extremely great way of almost 100% guaranteeing that your food will last darn near forever. That being said, another thing that works out really well is freezing your food. When you freeze your food, it kills the bug eggs that will be on your food. The FDA and the USDA say a certain amount of pests can be found within the food, and let's be honest, it's gonna happen. They live there, and it's just a part of life. You can double up and freeze and Mylar bag your stuff because, the Mylar bag with the oxygen absorber eliminates the oxygen, which the bugs, breathe oxygen like us. And if they don't have it, they can't live. And freezing them kills the eggs. And so, doubling up on that works great. If you put your food in mason jars, which I do for a lot of this stuff. Again with the phone calls, but it's fine. So what I was getting at is, the benefit with the mason jars is, lost my train of thought for a second. You can purchase the extra liners and reuse that kind of stuff. And we've been canning food for a long time. A lot of the foods that you can, the extended, shelf life of the products that you're putting in there, it is a more hands-on, uh, food storage strategy because I've talked about the working pantry and, it should be 1 to 3 months. Well, with canning, you turn that working food pantry from a 1 to 3 months to a 1 to 5 year process because some of the stuff that you can will last that long. Other bits of the stuff that you can, will last, 6 months to a year, and it's just something that you're going to constantly have to rotate. But once you start canning and you start producing enough of your own food that you can put away stuff like that, it is a fantastic way to guarantee you've got, anywhere from 1 to 5 years worth of, stuff put away. And, with the Mylar bags, when I first did it, I did 5-gallon bags, and it felt really great just, amassing that many calories. But I also like the mason jars because they go from a half pint all the way up to a half gallon. And, if one of those 5-gallon bags of rice was compromised, that's about 25 days worth of food lost versus a half-gallon bag. Let's see, 2.5, it's about 2.5 days worth of food lost. I was trying to do quick math for you, and I'm not very good at math. So when I start doing 5-gallon buckets, or actually using the 5-gallon cat litter containers that I have left over, because we go through an enormous amount of cat litter with 7 cats. We get the hard plastic containers of that. Storing the Mylar bags inside of 5-gallon buckets will help. The Mylar bag makes it to where oxygen doesn't get into it. The 5-gallon bucket keeps the rats from getting into it. And so mason jars, they're glass. They have a metal seal. Nothing's getting in there. One of the downsides is, light pollution on some of the foods that you have. So regardless of Mylar bags, 5-gallon buckets, mason jars, big thing that I'm trying to get at is don't keep your staple goods in the container that they came in from the store. That is, one, their way of, it's the cheapest way they can package it and sell it to you. But two, they're putting best by dates, not, good till dates or, use by date. And it's not, this product is going to go bad after that date. It's, we think the quality of how it tastes and a little bit nutritional wise, that's when it, isn't at peak level. And they want you to buy and consume more stuff. If your prepping still consists of buying canned goods, just know at some point in time, I don't remember when it happened, I think it was the late 90s, early 2000s, they started putting a plastic coating on the inside of your canned goods. Before that time period, they would last until the can rusted or dented away. So 15, 20 years. Now your canned goods will last, 1 to 5 years in different cases. And it's not because the food product is going bad, it's because the can, that plastic liner, is deteriorating, and it can give you stomach issues like, diarrhea and pain, and can cause, more serious things. So, that's something to think about when you're, that's for your short-term working pantry storage. Stuff that you constantly consume, but just something else to be wary of and keep in mind. And then the last thing that I have for you. Oh, it is still playing. I thought it stopped recording. Sorry about that. The last thing I have for you is when it does come to storing this stuff, a cool, dry place, regardless of what you put it in, will preserve the, longevity of your food. Doesn't matter if it's mason jar, Mylar bags, or canned goods. It just being in a cool, dry place will benefit you in the long run. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay. So, with that, like I said, if you benefit from this, like the video. If you have a friend or family member that would benefit from this, then share the video with them. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and in the comment section down below, what are your thoughts? I'll catch you in the next one.